Hi, everyone, and welcome to Kindle Unlimited, the podcast for reviews, rants, and ramblings about books from our favorite way to get books, the Kindle Unlimited universe. I'm one of your hosts, Amity.
And I'm Lauren.
And I'm Steph. And this week we read New Girls in the Fall, which is actually a huge series, which I didn't realize has like 7 or 8, 9 books.
A new book just came out last week.
Yes. So it was written by Elle Gray. But before we get into the book, what are you guys reading? How has your week been? Give me everything.
I got back from my Tennessee trip with the dog and lots of time to read, but on the drive there and back, I did the graphic audio for Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, and it was fantastic.
Oh, my sister did that when she was hiking.
Yeah, but the graphic audio, so highly recommend.
They recently
Amity, are you rewatching?
Back to the graphic audio. They recently recorded the graphic audio for Zodiac Academy, book 1. And I thought about going back and reading it because, as we've discussed before, like my trouble with the audiobooks is I don't have the attention span to hold on to it and I'll miss important things. But I wonder if, one, already knowing the story, and two, it being a little bit more like movie-esque with the graphic audio, if I'd enjoy that in a way that I don't typically enjoy audiobooks.
I think a reread as an audiobook is a great idea.
Okay. Maybe that's how I'll prep for Onyx Flame?
Onyx Storm.
Onyx Storm.
Yeah.
Well, and Fourth Wing is coming on Kindle Unlimited.
I know.
It is already.
Oh, it's on it.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Fourth Wing is on KU.
Yeah, maybe that will be a reread and we could do an episode on it.
Love it. I read, back to one of our previous authors, Abby Jimenez, I read her book, The Friend Zone. And I've already moved on to book 2 in that series, the Happy Ever After playlist. I loved this book, you guys. It was so good that there was like a twist at the end that was sad. And you don't normally, like, books don't really end sad, but it moved the story along. I really enjoyed it. So The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez.
I really like all of her books. Her latest one, Just for the Summer, was very good too.
I'll have to read that one.
So I haven't been reading anything because I'm back into the teaching world. And in the teaching world, I don't have time to read as much as I would like to because I go to bed at 9 o'clock and wake up at 5 a.m.
Yep.
But I have been watching Bad Monkey on Apple TV, which is really good. If you guys need a TV show to watch,
it is crazy.
Yes, it's with Vince Vaughn. It does have a guy with no arm, so it's a little of a crime comedy. So, Amity, I don't know if you would be like the biggest fan of it.
I want to say because Brian and I are rewatching Ted Lasso right now, and
oh yes,
I saw a commercial for that, and I was like, oh, I wish like a way to like block it out, mute it quickly, something. I wasn't close to the remote. But I wanted to do that. So I don't think that's a show for me.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
But I'm super excited though. This weekend's pretty chill. I may kick TJ out, see if he wants to go visit his parents so I can finish Emily in Paris because part 2 just came out.
Oh,
and
no,
she goes
that's
to Italy
tomorrow then.
Yeah, so I have a colleague who loves Emily in Paris and she's flying tomorrow.
You're going to Italy?
Yeah, she made an Italian.
This is your parents.
We'll get back to New Girls in the Fall.
So we start the book by being introduced to Spencer, who is an FBI agent. And she lives in New York City with her husband, Trevor, who is a ER doctor. He's a trauma surgeon. And she goes and meets him after his shift and they go walking and she gets a bad feeling, lights are out in this park, and then Trevor is shot and killed. She is also shot multiple times.
But she survives.
She survives. And it turns out Spencer's FBI partner was involved with the cartel, and they believe that he killed her husband. We then jump to a year later, where Spencer's not doing so great. she's had some anxiety. She's had a really rough time after her husband passed. She's not happy. She did get a dog. But her best friend Marley is trying to convince her to move from New York City to Sweetwater Falls, Washington.
Because they need a new sheriff.
They do. Their sheriff is retiring. Then Spencer has a meeting with the FBI, and number one, they're like 15 minutes late to her meeting.
Yeah, and they're very rude to her.
Yes, and they essentially try to get Spencer to agree to take the murder charges off the table because it looks bad for the department. They're trying to get her to play ball and say, if you do this, it'll be really great for your career. So Spencer resigns on the spot.
Well, and she had gotten that weird call from jail from her ex-partner.
She did.
And he was like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. You have to tell them I didn't do it. And she's like, why do I think that? But I feel like that's something that probably comes up further in the series.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. So from my understanding, the series is like all these different, I think it all stems from the
Right, like we're
original
connecting the
murder.
spider web, the different components of it.
Yeah.
We then jump to being introduced to our male main character named Riker Makawi. He's a coffee shop owner, a former Navy SEAL. He inherited this beautiful house from his grandfather. He's got a bad relationship with his father. He was wounded while in Afghanistan, and really appalling. His fiance was raped and murdered while he was recovering in the hospital in Germany after being wounded. So he's got some heavy stuff in his past.
And he not only was he wounded, but like the rest of his troop,
everyone else was
died. Yeah. So he just had like his whole world ripped away from him in a very rough couple of hours.
Yeah.
So he's a bit antisocial, doesn't really talk to many people.
Yeah, he has a lot in common with Spencer. So the foreshadowing is there. So then the author does something very interesting and like opens up to a third point of view, which was the main the stalker that is watching this girl at the grocery store.
Named Angie Perez.
Yeah, and
so hard to read, you guys. This, oh my gosh, this specific point of view was so creepy. I don't know if I like read slower because I was looking up and like or if I read faster because I just like get past it. I'm
safe to say this was not quite Amity genre.
No. Me, on the other hand, I am a big Law and Order SVU, so I was like, this is like Law and Order SVU book version.
Did you like Criminal Minds?
No, I haven't seen Criminal Minds.
What? Okay, so fantastic.
That could be it.
It's great. You should watch all of them. There's multiple seasons.
I am a huge Olivia Benson fan, so this was my jam. I just imagined Olivia Benson as Spencer, actually, when I was picturing it in my head.
That could work.
Spencer does decide to move to Sweetwater and take the sheriff's job. But she gets there and the cabin of this sheriff is like run down. The water's not working.
It's about to collapse.
Yeah.
So the mayor arranges for her to stay in one of Riker's cabins.
Mayor seems so cool.
Yeah, she did.
Does.
Yeah.
I like the mayor. Riker's conditions were he doesn't want to see Spencer and no matchmaking.
Oh, yeah. From the mayor. Also, Spencer gets a dog after the murder of her husband named Annabelle, who was this lovable,
giant Great Dane,
protective, who goes running with her. And so Annabelle takes a big part of this book.
And Riker has a chocolate lab named Mocha.
Which, if you run a coffee shop, your dog, it has to be named Mocha,
and
especially if it's a chocolate lab. So Annabelle's going to be doing some matchmaking later in the book.
Annabelle's great.
So for Spencer's first day as a sheriff is how I imagine any woman's first day as a sheriff would be. Right. And the deputies are just assholes to her because
specifically.
Yes.
So she puts him on leave after he's a dick.
Mm-hmm.
I was very proud.
Because this is a small town and Small towns are small-minded.
Yeah. And it turns out none of the deputies know how to run an investigation, so she's got a lot of teaching to do.
Oh yeah, but she does have one deputy that she like connects
Like
to.
the one of the only other females in the entire
Yeah.
department.
So many strong females in this small town between the sheriff, this other deputy, the mayor. I loved it.
Marley.
Her best friend Marley is the doctor.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah. Woman power. So we get our first Spencer and Riker encounter because Annabelle gets loose.
Annabelle.
And Riker's not the nicest person.
No, he's very upset that he sees Spencer and she's disturbing him. So he
goes to the mayor and says she needs to move out.
Yeah. Or was it Spencer goes to the mayor and says, find me somewhere else to live?
No, Riker goes to the mayor and is like, get her out. I don't want her living there. You told me I would never see her.
Yeah. And then he comes to his senses and apologizes
Yeah.
and says Spencer can still stay there.
I do like the scene, in Amity, you have to tell me the scene where he does go to therapy or group therapy.
Oh, yes. Is it the VA?
Yes, I think it was at the VA.
Yeah. And he talks about how he
or
has
VA
to
adjacent
try.
or something, yeah.
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 He had tried out different places and had tried different therapists.
Like one-on-one.
One-on-one,
Yeah.
and this was like his best, where he felt the most comfortable. And that's where you hear the story about his fiance and
Yeah.
everything.
And it was group therapy.
Yes, it was group therapy. And he really liked I think it was a woman therapist
Yeah.
who was like,
Who I think also had a similar situation or something too. Like, or also had, like, was a vet as well, something like that.
Mhm.
Yes, yeah.
So now we jump back to the stalker's point of view, and he is watching Spencer.
Whoa, creepy.
Yeah, and finds out the stalker's employer hired him to
kill Spencer.
There's a hit on Spencer. And then the stalker is outside Angie's house watching her, and then a body is found
and
out by the paper mill.
Yes. So, but it was weird. Okay, so when we were going through the stalker's point of view, he was only supposed to kill Spencer. Like that was it, like just a hit on her.
But he became obsessed.
With her. And he was like, I gotta go figure out this Angie Perez person first. Or he had to finish that business.
Yeah,
that
it was so
Angie
creepy.
Perez.
Like while he was raping Angie, he's like, I'm thinking of Spencer. I was like,
while he's killing Angie, he's thinking of Spencer, but Angie is like a pet project. He's not hired.
Right, she's just for funsies.
Angie, that's just his hobby, is how he puts it.
It was more for pleasure.
Yes. So they find her body, kind of near was it like a run of something. And Riker finds out about it and
flips
out. Like he rush into the sheriff's department, like demanding details because he thinks it's similar to his fiance's murder. And of course, Spencer refuses to give him any information.
Which is not how,
however,
had been done.
Yeah. But previously, the department was not run the way a department should be run. We then get to Spencer's like, okay, like something's going on here. So she looks further into it. She gets the case on his fiance's murder and, compares the two. She goes to Riker and says, hey, I'm here on official business. I'm not here as your tenant and I'm not bothering you on purpose. But the killer is not the same person that killed your fiance. And Riker kind of says, okay, would you like to stay for dinner? I did not see it going that way.
No. He was very forward and especially for somebody who just like stays in his house and doesn't socialize or anything. He just went for it.
Yeah. So they had a nice dinner, but then the serial killer is getting a little more aggressive. He's outside Spencer's house.
Yeah, he sees the dog, Annabelle, and he's
Yeah,
like, I need to take care of
I
that.
know. I remember texting you guys.
Yeah.
I was like, if something happens to this dog, I'm gonna be pissed.
And I think I was just past that part in the book. Well, I know I
Oh,
had gotten to the part where, spoiler alert, the dog's okay. And I like wanted to be like, she's okay, but I didn't want to ruin it. But I would have wanted to know.
I know. So, but Riker ends up seeing the serial killer on Spencer's front porch. And Spencer, of course, suspects it's Angie's killer. But really, neither of them do anything.
Okay, this was where I was a little confused. So Spencer, is a former FBI agent. Riker is a former in the military,
Yeah.
like
Special ops.
Maybe-
Yeah.
special ops.
Yes.
Like, yeah, exactly. I didn't understand why they didn't work together to solve this. Or like didn't do more things together.
Or why
Riker
you
was really busy making coffee.
Hey, those beans need growing, okay?
So that was my like one. I wish that he was more involved in the case, but I also understand like you can't just have like a random
Yeah,
civilian
like she was trying to do things by the book.
by the book. But I would that was my if like I could change something, I would.
I wish that like there were more steps to protect Spencer instead of just putting up one single security camera
Right?
at the
Like,
cabin.
yes.
Like I don't know.
Cabin that's surrounded by woods.
In the
Yeah,
middle of
exactly.
nowhere.
She does have the dog, guys.
She does, which Annabelle ends up finding footprints and a cigarette butt in the woods. So Spencer like takes the cigarette butts and Riker just happens to know a guy that can test some DNA. So they get it compared to the cigarette butts outside
Oh yeah,
Angie
outside.
Perez's house and it's a match. So they got their killer.
They just don't know who he is.
They don't. They really don't. And then Spencer goes out to dinner with Marley. And when she's leaving, someone tries to run her over with a car.
Oh. Casual.
Casual. And we should also add in a detail of there was this guy that worked for the newspaper called Stu Wiggins that we kept asking for details and you just knew.
I
bad
knew he was. Yeah, I could tell. I was like, this is my Law and Order SVU instincts were kicking in.
Because
like,
I
they don't just
don't-
add this character randomly.
Because I don't normally dabble in this genre. I had no idea. I was like, Stu, of course. But not till the end. It got me.
So after the near run, someone tries to run over Spencer, Riker like barges into Spencer's office to make sure she's okay. Because he cares. And it's cute.
Oh yeah.
And then they get back the DNA. It's a match to Angie Perez's house, and they have a name.
Dallas Moorhead.
A New York City mob hitman that
He's killed like hundreds of people.
Yes. And of course, Spencer knows who it is because she was from New York City, and this guy's
But they don't have any pictures of him because then she would have known it was the
well, they do. Because she calls her buddy at the FBI.
oh,
Like, hey,
yeah.
send me over the file.
Oh yes.
And they do end up getting a photo, and it's Stu Wiggins, the fake newspaper reporter, of course.
Shocked Amity.
Um,
I was like, why are they bringing in this random stew guy?
I was like, I mean, come on, you only bring in characters for a reason. It's got to be the guy. But then Spencer and Annabelle go out running in the woods and
by themselves while she
Annabelle-
knows she's being stalked and has a murderer.
yeah, like let's.
Was this-
I know.
did she-
She's in the FBI.
Did she carry on this run though?
She did. She was carrying.
I think she was always carrying.
She was packing. So while they're running, like she felt like something wasn't right, but there are shots coming at her. She somehow doesn't get hit, but Annabelle does. And I texted both of you at this time and said, this is ridiculous. It's so mad. So pissed. But somehow, of course, Riker is at his house because he's a recluse, talks to no one, and he hears the gunshots and he comes to the rescue with this truck. grabs Annabelle, puts her in the car. They go to the vet and they're able to save Annabelle, or I would have just not finished the book right then.
Right?
Anything happened to Annabelle or Mocha?
Boycotting.
Okay, and this was the part where I was like, okay, roll eyes. Because this would never happen on Law and Order SVU, to be honest.
She gets back from the vet to her cabin, and there is a tablet waiting.
Like, of course there is, and there's a video that he gave of him kidnapping some woman
Named Ashley Snyder, in case you want to know.
So I know you
She
say
has
this
to meet-
would never happen on Law and Order SVU, but I can't remember if it was Law and Order or maybe Chicago PD, but there was one of the shows that I like was in the room while it was being watched, but then it just like captures me because I can't look away, where
Yeah.
there was some guy who had like this strangle thing that he would put the women in and it like went around your neck and then hooked back behind your ankle. So you had to keep yourself basically up
God.
so that you wouldn't strangle yourself to death, but like your body couldn't do that and like that's how you would die. And it was like some character like came home and it was like set up on the floor with like a sorry I missed you note. So I might have been 12 when I watched that, you guys, but it's like stuck
Oh
in
my
my
gosh.
because this is why I
really
can't do this
trauma.
genre. But so I'm like, Law and Order might do that something as creepy as this. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, so and it's actually kind of funny. I was thinking back, Law and Order, they never have like a tablet. The one they
They
had
were
this
all in the
one creepy
90s.
episode.
Like they just tablets didn't exist.
Well, yeah, that's true. But Law and Order is still around too now. They're on like season 29. They did have this like one episode where Olivia Benson comes into her house and this guy strangles her with alcohol and he like takes her in and stuff.
Strangles her with the alcohol?
Not strangles her with alcohol, but like not puts in like
Was it like drowned?
yeah, like something to put her to sleep and just like
Oh,
not
yeah,
like
yeah.
and but then while he's kidnapping her, he like every time she asks for water or something, he would just hand her vodka.
Oh, that's just me.
Yeah, exactly. So, but
Apparently, okay, good news, guys. I'm not a killer.
yeah, exactly. But so she comes home and she sees this video and he tells her to meet her at the old mill alone. So she goes,
He has
she asks,
somebody, some like woman.
yeah,
Yes,
he has
exactly.
somebody.
I was shocked when he actually let Ashley go.
Yes, me too.
Shocked.
Yeah,
I was
same.
like, you just have a witness, buddy. I'm sure he planned to go capture her again and kill her.
Yeah.
Did
But
Spencer drive there?
I don't know. That's what I want to know.
Because
Wait, Spencer did drive there.
well, that's what I thought. And then she's like, oh, it's, a 15-minute walk, maybe like trying to figure out like Ashley just walking there. Like, girl, toss her the keys. What are you doing? Like, help her out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl, wait for me. I'll finish this real quick.
Yeah.
Like,
So, Spencer and Dallas,
Or Stu.
Stu, whichever moniker you want to go with, they're like kind of having a chit chat and then they go at it. And luckily, well, they then hear something above them and Dallas is like, I told you to come alone. Turns out Riker followed Spencer there.
well, they had
And
dinner
he's
plans.
they
Oh,
did.
yes.
Riker
They
and Spencer
did.
had dinner plans, and so when Spencer didn't show, Riker went to her place. And I don't even
Yeah.
know that he waited the whole time, or
And-
he was like, "I got a feeling," and he went over there.
So why didn't he just look at the cameras?
He found the tablet
Oh,
and
yeah,
watched
yeah.
the video. So he was like, I gotta go to the mill. So he followed and he's armed, but he can't get a clean shot to take out Dallas. And Riker in the process ends up getting shot. So Spencer just assumes he's dead because he's just laying on the floor over there.
I also assumed he was dead, and I was like, "This poor
I
woman."
did too. Spencer finally kills Moorhead. It got a little ugly there, but he won't give up. Who hired him? or if he killed her husband.
Yeah, because she keeps asking him, or
I
but
wanted
he
that
knows
closure
who
for
killed
her.
her husband.
I know.
Yeah,
And
he teases
he
her.
teases her, and basically it's like the mob isn't the only person who hires him.
Yeah,
So it could be someone other than the mob. We
yeah,
don't know. Um, Luckily, Riker is not dead. He was wearing a bulletproof vest.
perfect. Yeah.
And then the FBI comes in. I know.
I was like, oh, thank goodness. I did not see that coming.
No, I was like, and now I really.
So
This
I
really
knew
got
Riker
me.
didn't
Maybe it was
die.
very formulaic, but it really got me. This is the first time with this formula.
I knew Riker didn't die because I had read the summaries of the next few books. Because I was like, what else could this book series cover? So I knew he doesn't die.
So then the FBI comes in. It's like 3 weeks of them investigating because they could never figure out who Dallas Moorhead actually was or catch him. So I think they're a little upset
That she was
able to catch him.
In her little
But
small town sheriffing.
yeah, there are some lingering questions that I have. Will someone else come to kill Spencer? Because if there's a hit, we can hire someone else.
Yes.
And then we
And who hired her?
Yes.
Who hired?
Exactly. And who killed her husband? We don't know.
Yeah. So those are probably in the next. I want to say the series is pretty long.
Yeah, I think there's multiple.
Yeah.
Well, I will not be finding out.
And this book, it wasn't like super long.
No, it was a quick
It
read.
was quick. There was lots of plot. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know if I would read all of them like right in a row, or it'd be something that like I slowly would
a palate
read.
cleanser.
Yes, yeah, I've read a lot of romance books. Let me read the next one.
Yeah.
So
With a hint of romance.
yeah, exactly. Oh, then I would like to see. So, favorite characters.
I'm gonna go with Spencer.
Oh yeah, I really did like Spencer too.
Mhm.
The dogs. I don't know.
And
I can't.
Yes, the dogs. Annabelle.
I did like Marley too. I hope she has more of a
Yes.
part in the next few books. Themes and tropes. Hey, Amity, at least they didn't have the pregnancy trope.
You know, a win's a win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could they
So
have had there wasn't even sex.
No.
No, there wasn't. No.
There
That
wasn't.
would have been really surprise pregnancy.
So otherwise, mystery.
Yeah. Murder, rape,
Yeah, lots of
All the good ones.
all the
trauma, death,
keep going, Steph.
doggies.
Dogs.
Runners attacked. Love that.
Yeah, stalker.
Yeah.
3 point of views, stalker point of view.
Uh-huh.
So our question for this book, if your life fell apart like Spencer's, where would you move? I'll go first. So TJ and I did a trip to Maine. We went to Portland. I think I would move to Portland, Maine.
Really?
Yeah. Just like
Oh,
on the
that's cute.
outskirts.
I've been there.
Live near Yeah. It'd probably be cold in the winter, but I think that would be my like a little sea town. My
Yeah.
little escape. Or maybe a place in Rhode Island.
You'd move to a small town?
Yeah, exactly.
I think if my life
If money was I would say if money was no option as well, you can go wherever. I don't know. Like I might leave the country.
Whoa,
I might
going international.
I might
Well,
leave the
eat, pray,
country.
love.
New Zealand. Yes. I would have to be somewhere that probably speaks English because my ability to learn second languages is just really not good. So maybe another English speaking country.
Okay, so England. Ooh, I can see you actually going into England and London.
New Zealand, maybe?
New Zealand,
I could be a
Australia.
Kiwi.
Oh yeah. So, Amity, where are you moving to?
I'd move to a city. I love New York City. So off the top of my head, that's probably where I'd go. But it would be a big city. I'd want to be able to be surrounded by people.
In the crowd.
Yeah.
Like I'd want that.
Oh, that's a good idea. Like
Escape in the crowd. You're just one of the masses.
yeah, exactly.
All right, Amity. What do you rate this one?
So I thought a lot about this actually, because it's interesting now to hear you guys be like, I saw that coming, like, oh yeah. Um, so I would say I can't decide if I want to give it a 6 or a 7 because I can't decide if that would be like a 3 stars or a 3.5 stars. Um,
A 6.5?
okay, I'll be difficult and go
Maybe.
6.5. I just,
You
it's not
could
my
meet yourself in the
genre. So
middle.
like I wouldn't recommend it to anybody unless they were like, man, do you know any great murdery, rapey, creepy books? And then I'd be like, I just know one book. I can't tell you if it's great or not. Um, that
I'm gonna go with a 7.5. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I'm big on this genre, so I'll go 8.5. I really
Knew
enjoyed
it.
this. And I thought it was a nice quick read, which was nice. Like
It
I didn't
was.
feel like I was dragging or anything. It was good. And I read this is like my
7.5.
yeah. This was like during the school year where I'm starting to get like sleepy and stuff like that, and I was able to just like pick it up.
Yeah,
So our average is a 7.5.
that's pretty good for us.
it's pretty high for the fact that
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Is that your cup
enjoyed
of
it.
tea? Yeah,
I really did.
I think I
Okay.
will read the other ones, just like not in a row.
Yeah.
I would
Don't
just
tell
like
me
casually
about
hear
that,
there.
please.
Do you want to know who killed her husband though?
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I want to know.
Maybe if
Once
I
I've
ever
read
have to
them
miss
all.
an episode, you can do a recap then.
Yeah.
But then I still have to edit it. No, I don't know.
Ah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just tell Lauren. Lauren and I will
We'll have secrets from you. Anne.
yes. It was Annabelle the dog.
No, I would never.
Good.
No,
Just kidding.
so cute.
I do
All
like
right,
that we've
next
been
up.
on this like kick of reading books with great dogs.
Oh
I
yeah.
know. It must be a requirement for us.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to think. Every book we've read had a dog.
As there's a dog laying on
Like a
my feet.
predominant appearance by
Yeah.
a dog, not just like there is a dog, but like a dog with a name and attached to main characters.
Yeah.
So
So
I like it.
must have puppies.
It's
I don't know. This next book that we're reading, I don't know if it has any dogs.
It has a cat.
Ooh.
A cat in quotations.
So,
It's maybe not an actual cat.
oh yeah.
So the next book is Spookily Yours by Jennifer Chipman. So we're moving into our Halloween era.
Great.
It does have some romance in it, Amity.
It's another daytime read.
I mean the cover looks really cute, so you
It
might
does
be
look
fine.
cute. It does look cute. I
Yeah.
think it's probably not going to be creepy, but I'm going to start it in the daytime to feel it out
Just
first.
in case.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. New Girl in the Falls was our mystery of October.
Yeah.
And so now we're getting into the really
The cute. I think it's going to be a cute, fun
yeah.
Halloween
The
read.
cutesy read.
Yeah.
Love
We
it.
got our spooky read and now our cutesy read.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, whatever kinds of reads you're doing, we thank you for listening to ours. And if you review or rate books anywhere and you've been sent there by us, please go ahead and include that Schmindel Limited sent you in your review. If you wouldn't mind a quick review on your podcast platform of our podcast, we would also be forever grateful. Have a great weekish, and we can't wait to read, review, rant, and ramble about the next book with you. Bye.